it's showing that people want to listen more to people like Tucker Carlson, people who have common sense, people who are not, woke weirdos in the media world. And they absolutely they can't stand, like, it drives them crazy. And I love it.
Josiah, do you remember when Elon Musk bought Twitter? And then everyone was like, oh man, this place is going to go to hell. It's the worst, right? And now you have Mark Cuban talking about what a cesspool it is. This is a cesspool of hate. This X platform now. It's changed to X. It might as well be triple X for all we care, because it's such a horrible platform full of hate and all this stuff.
The worst.
And then you've seen so many media articles about how X is dying. It's dying, Josiah. There's so many. Like, how are we ever going to make it with X? Oh wait, I'm sorry. It's the #1 most downloaded app of any kind.
Suck it!
Oh my God.
I love it. I love it.
This is a thing, man. This is a thing, and it's just constant. Yes, here we go. Any minute now. How Twitter died in 2023, and why X may not be far behind. As it just continues to grow, we've seen nonstop growth of this platform. Why? Because people like to talk and be able to say what they want. Josiah, your thoughts?
I'm going to tell you right now, I've never had a moment on X where I've gone on and, started to scroll, started to comment and think, hey, this is kind of like a ghost town around here. I've never had that moment. It's always popping. And I think that as X continues to grow and become more relevant and people turn to X, dude, like the amount of things that have dropped on X that never would have dropped on Twitter over the past year, like all these different interviews that people have done with, all sorts of crazy people, things like you had like a Daily Wire drop like Lady Ballers, which blew up on X, and all of this crazy stuff. Like, this shows that more and more people are paying attention to X, that more people are going to X from all these other social media sites and media sites, because X, I mean, it's pretty amazing to see what Elon Musk has done with X so far, because it isn't just like a place where people can talk shit anymore. It's a place that's like an actual legitimate place to go for news and stories that you will not find anywhere else on the internet. And that is what makes X so great. And that's why X is continuing to blow up the way that it is. So.
Oh, he's muted.
Oh.
Well, what I was saying was that it's really interesting to look at people's response to kind of the change in Twitter, the change in X over the last year, where people are like, it's a echo chamber now, or is it the idea that just more voices are in it and you're hearing things that you didn't hear originally, right?
Exactly.
You're hearing different perspectives that you couldn't hear because they were suppressed the first time, good or bad. But the idea of a quote-unquote town square is that you can go into that town square and you can yell into a megaphone as loud as you want, and it's up for people. It's up to the public to decide whether or not they want to listen to you, right?
Yep.
It's a fascinating, really great metaphor, I think, for society today.
The one thing that they can't stand is that people like Tucker Carlson are becoming the prominent voices on X, and they absolutely hate that because that's taken away whatever relevancy that they still had, and it's showing that people want to listen more to people like Tucker Carlson, people who have common sense, people who are not, woke weirdos in the media world. And they absolutely they can't stand, like, it drives them crazy, and I love it. I love to see it. So that's what makes X so great, and I'm really, really happy to see where it's gone so far, and I can't wait to see where it continues to go.
I think that the big difference now is obviously the change that I think it went from one echo chamber. It was a very left-leaning echo chamber initially. But I think it's one of those things where, you have people that they were in such an echo chamber for such an extended amount of time that it's almost like that meme of that, that like the pearl clutching, the lady who's, oh my gosh. And that's kind of what we're seeing right now. And obviously You know, this goes back to something we talked about last week, Blabs. We were talking about the college. It's actually had to do with the lobbies, the Call of Duty lobbies, right? Where Josiah, the story we were talking about in particular was that using the Activision AI technology, they would flag certain people to when they said, you know, things they did they deemed that were they deemed that bad, right? But only 20% of them were reported, right? So what you're saying is that 80% of people don't care about it, right? And that 20% do, and that's kind of what you're looking at here is you see the people who are that's that 20% who are in their bubble. So
yeah, exactly. They don't really have the power that they think they do. You know what I mean? Like the reason why they think that they have all this power, that they are like the right side of history and all this type of BS, is literally just because everyone that is kind of like in the establishment circles and, you know, all of the media and all that type of stuff are people that align with their opinions. You know what I mean? They don't really have much power beyond that when it comes to the common man. You know what I mean? Like people like us, we make up the majority of people, and we don't care. You know, like we really don't. I mean, besides like you know, throwing the N-word up on the stream and all that type of stuff. But
yeah, Blabs, what's up with that?
Mine
but
does.
but
sorry,
at the end of the day,
sorry.
like nobody cares, bro. And you can see that on X right now as well. Like people just want to go on there and just talk shit and have a good time. And you know, it's so ridiculous to see all these people that are in these media circles that are just trying to control everything that people say. And people are just sick and tired of it. You know, people are sick and tired of it. And that's why X is growing the way that it is because people can go there and they can just be themselves. So doesn't mean I agree with everything. Doesn't mean I agree with all the things that people say on there, but I wouldn't want them to have their voices taken away at the same time because it opens up conversation, and that's what we need. We need conversations.
Well, people obviously are enjoying the conversation as it's the #1 app in the world.
Let's go
forever.
For me, I don't even watch the news or anything. I don't go to the BBC unless it's like a breaking news that pops up on my phone. I find out so fast on Twitter or X. Everything that's happening, like the farmers in Europe.
Right.
You never hear anything about it. And vice versa, I'd say like, oh, it's happening in Texas. Europe doesn't know about it unless you see it on Twitter. Because the mainstream media is not telling them about it. So it's becoming the new mainstream, honestly. I'm for it.